Hey guys, LevelCap here. Today is Monday, which means it's time for an episode of Loadout, the series where you guys, the viewers, get to help me pick a gun and customization for each episode. The way you do this is you leave a comment down below letting me know what kind of gun and accessories you'd like me to run with, and I will pick one of the top rated comments for the next episode. Today's top comment comes from TD4 Guy or TDA Guy. Not sure if you're using leet speak in your name or not, sir. He says, beginning engineer loadout, G53 red dot sight foregrip heavy barrel, M39R small/RPG repair tool. The G35 can be unlocked within a couple of rounds when starting off as a new player, and its lower recoil ever since the Aftermath patch has really made this a viable and easy to use weapon. Just time your reloads wisely. And I have to say, even before reading this loadout suggestion, I was using the G53 quite a bit. As you can see, I have the new endgame camos on there, but it wasn't just to unlock the camos for this gun. The G53 really is a great gun. Once you get the foregrip and heavy barrel on this weapon, it really can pretty much hold its own against some of the top performing carbines out there. Its rate of fire is 750 rounds per minute, which certainly isn't slow. It's not quite as fast as the M4A1, which has a nice solid 800 rounds per minute, and it doesn't quite clock in anywhere near the MTAR at 900 rounds per minute, but its accuracy and totally manageable recoil really makes this weapon very powerful at medium range engagements. Now, assuming that you have the Back to Karkand expansion or the premium upgrade for Battlefield 3, then to get the G53 it is quite easy. All you need is 10 repairs, and you do need to kill one enemy with a repair torch. Not too difficult to do as long as you're in a position to sneak up behind somebody and use that blowtorch for the kill. Now, the G53 got a nice recoil reduction during the Aftermath expansion, and it's really made this gun very accurate, very easy to use. It has a side-to-side recoil with a 0.2 pull left and a 0.35 pull right, which I guess doesn't seem like insane overall, but if you compare it to the other carbines out there, it does make it a bit easier to control. It's got a nice heavier pull on one side, which does make recoil control much easier and much easier to hit your targets at range. Its vertical recoil is pretty much on the low side with a 0.2 vertical recoil. It does have a kind of higher first shot multiplier of 2.5, meaning you're going to need a little extra recoil compensation in the start with this weapon, but overall I found it incredibly easy to use. I mean, just watch the gameplay here. You'll notice that I'm able to drop people at medium and long ranges without much trouble at all. Now, as stated in the comments, this gun does have a longer reload. The short reload is 2.3 seconds, which is definitely on the high side for carbines, and its long reload is 3.2 seconds, which is almost identical with the MTAR 21's reload, and the MTAR has a very long reload overall. Now, this clip here shows just what this weapon can do in close quarters, provided that you manage the reload accurately. The most important part of reloading is making sure that you're in a safe spot, making sure that you have your sidearm at the ready just in case somebody comes around that corner to deal with you. So I'm sort of hiding here, biding my time. There's smoke been put down. I move out, take some cover here, go for the reload. Notice that I'm reloading when I'm in cover and not when I'm running across to get into cover. Has that long reload, so you can't afford to wait. Take down this guy. Don't reload yet. Take down that guy. Still have some bullets. Take out the third guy there, then go for the reload. There is another guy in front of me, and so I'm managing these reloads as best as possible. So I take out that guy, go prone. You need to just make sure you have enough time to get these reloads off. Otherwise, you're going to get shot while reloading many times. And while getting more comfortable with this weapon, that did happen to me. I was used to faster reloading guns. You would think the reload should be about done. You go out to peak and you're not quite finished reloading yet. That was a quick little 10 kill streak right there. Now, a lot of carbines start off with different bullet velocities. The G53 starts off with a 450 meter per second bullet velocity, which isn't terribly impressive. The G36C has a 500 meter per second bullet velocity. The M4A1 has a 580 meters per second bullet velocity, which is very good for hitting targets at range. However, when you combine carbines with the heavy barrel, they get a very, very big boost to their bullet velocity. So before heavy barrels, the G53 is over 100 meters per second slower than something like the M4A1. However, once you upgrade, say, both those guns with the heavy barrel, the G53 gets upgraded to 600 meters per second bullet velocity, and the M4A1 gets upgraded to 650 meters per second. A much smaller difference, and both guns become incredibly effective at longer range targets. Now, as many of you know, the average carbine does the same maximum damage as an assault rifle. So this thing shooting 750 rounds per minute is going to essentially drop somebody just as fast as an M416 could in close quarters. So if you run into a medic class with this big beefy assault rifle and you've got your little G53, which is much more compact, don't let that fool you. This thing has just as much firepower as those guns in a close quarter situation. Now, at longer ranges, the drop-off does start a little bit sooner with the carbines, and also the minimum damage is slightly less than the assault rifles. So overall, carbines are never going to be quite on the same level as assault rifles at longer ranges, but they can still kill people, so it's something that you just don't want to underestimate. It's just not its strongest suit. Now check out the woodland stripe camo on this carbine. It looks freaking awesome. I like the new camos that DICE has slowly implemented over the lifespan of Battlefield 3, and this one definitely looks awesome. It gives it a nice touch to the gun. I'm sure it doesn't actually make you that much more difficult to see. Perhaps in a jungly map like Caspian, you might get a little bit benefit to your sort of visibility if somebody's not really looking for you or run past you, but ultimately it is really just an aesthetic change, and it does look very cool. But how does the G53 actually stack up to the other carbines? Well, it's certainly not going to dethrone the M4A1 in my book. I still think that's pretty much the best carbine out there. Its reload speed, its rate of fire, just everything combined gives it a great package for all situations. And the G53 does have a very, very long reload. In fact, it's the third longest reloading weapon for the engineer class. The MTAR, of course, being the longest reloading, the A91 being the second longest reloading, and then the G53 being the third longest reloading. Not really sure why it has such a long reload time. The design of the weapon suggests that the reload should be quite easy to do. I mean, it looks pretty much identical to an MP5, just using larger rounds in the magazine, but I don't see why it would take longer. I mean, the MTAR and the A91 are both bullpup design weapons, and the G53 is a forward loading gun, so it should reload a little bit faster than 2.3 seconds and 3.2 seconds for that long reload, which is just kind of, it will get you killed a lot. You'll notice that you're going to get snuck up on during your extremely long reload times. So that is one of the biggest detriments against this gun, but the accuracy and rate of fire is just a really, really nice combination. Now, I've talked about how much I like the G53 and how just the rate of fire and the recoil seems to hit a sweet spot for accuracy. Well, I think the G53 hits an even sweeter spot. You can be more accurate at range, you can be more devastating in close quarters, you just have to learn how to deal with that long reload time. The hip-fire accuracy on this weapon is pretty standard with a 2.0 hip-fire spread. The only carbines that have better hip-fire accuracy would be the MTAR and the A91 and the QBZ, because those are bullpup design weapons. Ultimately, though, a 2.0 hip-fire accuracy is still going to be plenty to down people in close quarters when shooting from the hip. So seriously, give the G53 a look. I think it's probably tied for my second favorite carbine with the MTAR. M4A1 being my favorite, of course, but the MTAR has that great destructive power in close quarters, and the G53 is just very, very versatile and very accurate at longer ranges. I would say it's probably a little bit easier for me to down somebody at longer range with the G53 than it is with the M4A1. As far as this loadout is concerned, I wouldn't really change anything about it. Obviously, I like my Cobra sight over the red dot sight, but that's just a very, very small change. I think everything about this loadout is pretty much good to go, and you can get it very easily if you're a new player. So that's it for this episode of Loadout. Don't forget to leave your comments down below letting me know what kind of gun and accessories you'd like me to run with for the next episode. And I'll see you guys next time. This is LevelCap, signing off.